when you think of the Bruces of the world that could probably beat you up, you probably think Bruce Lee. You probably think 80s and 90s action star Bruce Willis. You may even think of the guy that keeps Gotham City safe from the dastardly villains. Probably think of Bruce Wayne. But my money would be on this guy to beat all three of them up at the same time. Now, before we let our Bruce introduce himself, I want to say thank you to Brent Courtney, Woodford County. This video is a direct result of Brent digging through tapes at Woodford County's archive. I don't know exactly where it was, but Brent got me this tape. And as soon as he told me he had 92, my heart exploded because I knew what that meant, who was on it. And one of the matches I was so excited to get is our Bruce here today. Now, you guys have already saw him, but for those of you that don't know, this Bruce, if you would, introduce yourself.
Bruce Stepp.
Bruce Stepp. Now, we've already done your 94 video.
Yes.
1994. Of course, just a quick recap. We're really not going to get into how you got into wrestling. We covered that in that video. You go through your family lineage. But that was like, I think, our 7th video in the series. And you and your status, it was you and George King at the same time. They come out in 2 different days. George King from Union County, 2000 state champion, most outstanding as well. When I put those out and everybody started seeing, we were getting names, big names, you, George, right back to back. Everybody's like, whoa, we're on to something. And since then, I've done a little research. From 1964 until the 2022, which is our last state tournament, there's been 770 matches. Currently, this will be 165 actual champions represented on the channel. So I think we're about 22% of all Kentucky state champions represented.
Fantastic.
So we're moving right along. And my goal is to get 100. I'm not going to quit till I get 100, until I get all the years of video. But Bruce, I've talked enough, man. Thank you for being here.
Thank you.
Now, if you can't tell, hear the PA system, and I'm still in my referee gear. We're at Belfry High School. We had a meet this morning. Kind of woke up to a little bit of snow, and Bruce drove in from Ohio. I think you went and saw some family a couple hours away, and then you drove back here.
Yeah.
And I want to say thank you for making that trek because, it's Moorhead, Kentucky to Belfry, Kentucky, by way of Martin County isn't the easiest trip to make, but you done it, and thank you, man, so much for being here. So, since we done your last video, has anybody, commented or said they saw it or anything like that to you?
We've actually had quite a few bits of feedback from different people that really enjoyed the fact of what you're doing.
Well, good.
It's a fantastic little bit of history put out there.
Absolutely, man, and that's part of it is, you guys making the effort, me making the effort to do it because it needs to be out there. It has to be celebrated, and that's the only word I know to use is celebrated because you were introduced here to the crowd at Belfry. They read off, 1992, 189 pound, 1993, 189 pound, heavyweight, 1994, most outstanding. And if you just walked in the gym, people probably wouldn't know. But I was kind of watching stuff. People was coming over, getting photos, shaking hands, all that kind of stuff. So it's kind of cool that, we're able to get, like I said, the name at the end of a bracket, the name on a banner in a gym, or even that, the old fish stories, you catch it once, it was 3 pounds. By the time it gets to 8 people, it's, 27 pounds.
Absolutely.
But when we actually have the video, and like your 94 video, people didn't realize just how, as a heavyweight, how physically dominant you were. They just didn't. We've watched him wrestle, we've heard the stories, but until you get your eyes on it and you're like, whoa, this dude is all we've ever heard. Wow. And a couple of coaches were talking today. There was a few dream matches that we'd like to. You and a couple guys that were a little bit, I guess younger than you in school. I don't want to say who they are because. We don't want to cause no problems, but I think guys can figure out who they are. They're on the channel already. But Bruce, let's go. First, we're going to go through your through the Sheldon Clark state champions because that's something I wanted to start doing is getting the other guys their recognition. That way, if somebody's watching this has video for them and I don't have them, they can send them to me.
Absolutely.
Now, The first Sheldon Clark State champion that broke the glass ceiling was Chris Goss, 1991. Good friend of the channel. His son Reese won the 2022 144-pound state champion. He's currently wrestling at Kent State, so Chris got it going.
One of the guys that actually beat me into submission and helped put me on the map.
Yeah, I've heard that about. We'll make sure that the part that Chris sees we'll cut out, but we'll make sure that his part's edited out. So Chris, now's the time to mute your sound. But we've heard that about Chris, that he was just so physical.
He was.
At 160 pounds, and like I said, Chris, you can't hear this part. Just how, I guess, he made the room better, because no matter if he was heavyweight or 103, that he was the most physical guy in the room.
I tell you what, I watched him exert such a dominating presence of physical strength to the point of utter exhaustion, to where he apologized, but defecated, threw up on a mat while holding a wrestler in a submission point. And continued right on with the match. Didn't even blink an eye. And it was one of the most fantastic things I'll ever remember in my life.
If you have video of that, I'd like to see that. We have to do it on a uncensored, that way YouTube don't demonetize me. But think about Chris. Chris was in the 1990 state finals. That video's on the channel against Kurt Zinga. Kurt catches him, gets the pin. But Chris comes back in 91, I think it was same weight class, 160 pounds, and he wins at 10-0. Yeah. So that shows, going from getting pinned in the second period to winning at 10-0, that shows just how much work Chris had. Then you win it in 92, but also in 92 you had Archie, Stepp, and Stephen Jude in the finals along with you.
Yes.
93, you win it, and Archie wins it. 94, you win it. Now 95, Sheldon Clark had 4 in the finals, but they all come up short, but they won the team title in 95 as well. 96, you had the Rhodes brothers. Jeremy and Scott won it.
Fantastic boys.
Jeremy Rhodes is probably one of the bestest true wrestlers Sheldon Clark's ever had.
Yeah.
Of all the guys I've got video on, Jeremy Rhodes is probably the bestest true wrestler. 97, Jeremy Rhodes wins it again, and Josh Priest. 98, Josh Priest wins it. In 99, I think it's your cousin, Josh Stepp, wins it. Most outstanding, 152-pound. 2001, Derek Mullett, Josh Muncie, and John Dials, they all three win it. In 2002, Billy Clark, 112 pounds, wins it. Xavier Manning, we've contacted Xavier. We have his footage. We're going to try to do his video sometime in the coming weeks as of the filming of this video. 2004, Dan Muncie. 2009, Ryan Kelly. And then that was the last Sheldon Clark champion. And then, they got a new school building, renamed themselves Martin County, and Branson Smith, heavyweight 2021, which Branson was here. You met him today. I kind of said that'd be a good match I'd like to see. As a fan, that would be good. The battle, of course, that's the only heavyweight Sheldon Clark's had, or Martin County, is you and Branson. Be a good little contest. Now, 94, we've already done it, but just a quick recap. You win heavyweight, you pin Eric Grubbs, most outstanding, most pins, least amount of time, all that. Now, 93 video, Chris Dunn has contacted me, 3-time champion from Woodford County. He says he's got it. We just didn't get a chance to get with him to get it. But that's going to be another video. I'll have to go to Bruce because he's come to me twice, unless he just likes coming back down here. But let's go. You're 93 bracket, 189 pound. You guys come in third as a team. The first round, you beat TJ Iverson from Hoptown. It doesn't say how you win it, but we just know that you win it. In the quarters, you wrestle Archie, possibly the best last name of all the guys we've got to meet with so far, Archie Ice from Campbell County. You win that by fall. In the semis, you wrestle Curtis Hamilton from Paducah Tillman. You win that by a pin. Your record is 44-1. After you win, you beat Kevin White of Western by a 10-2 decision. So 44-1, that's a pretty good record in 93. You were undefeated as a heavyweight in your senior year. Now 92, the video we have today. The first round, you're wrestling Steve Tharp from Simon Kenton, and you win that by 10-1 decision. You wrestle Hamilton in 92 in the quarters, and you win that by a fall. So you wrestle him back-to-back years. One was in the quarters, one was in the semifinals. In the semifinals 92, you're wrestling Reggie White from Covington Holmes. You win that by a fall. In the state championship, you're wrestling Teddy Grubbs from Hopkinsville. Now, the thing about Hopkinsville is in 92, they win the team title. They had Willie. They had the 103, his name escapes me, Chad Edwards. It'll come to me. Here it is, Chad. They had the coolest guy in the whole building with the guy. You guys want to see a photo of him? I've contacted some guys. You can just tell Hopkinsville High School in the early 90s just had the swag. They just did. You're seeing it by that photo. Anybody that will walk through a team's state runner-up photo session with a Gatorade cup wearing glasses, you know they got some swag. That's what our man done here. But you're in the finals. You are by numbers, you're the second Sheldon Clark wrestler to be in the finals. Did Chris Goss, was he there? Did he give you any advice about being in the finals?
Chris Goss, he actually did come back and help out with the team, and he was always giving Matt advice. Now, when it came down to the actual match, I can't remember whether or not he actually stepped down and gave advice or not, but I know that he was a major influence in prepping me on the mat.
Right.
When it came to me getting out there, he was the guy that. He was one of the guys that actually got me physically ready. Right.
Now, let's back up just a second. 1991, 5th place, 189 pounds. And this was, what you guys are getting ready to see was another direct result of, we done a memorial video for Richard Brown, 189-pound state champion. In 1991, he was the head coach at Trinity. He passed away, and we done a memorial video with his coach, his mother, his kids, a bunch of his teammates that were there. And we were actually converting the video, and you come in 5th place in 1991, 189 pounds, and I heard 5th place, Sheldon Clark, Bruce Stepp, and I was like, wait a second. So we got your medal ceremony, because of course Richard was on it, so it's cool. Talk just real quick about this. In 91, in the quarters, you get beat by Teddy Grubbs in a 6-5 decision. Okay? Then you guys come back to wrestle the 5th place bout.
Yes.
And you beat him 5-2.
Yeah.
So you ended up in a 2-year span, you wrestled him 3 times in the state tournament. Opposite ends of the state, you have almost the Mississippi River to the West Virginia border wrestling that way, and it's kind of cool that you guys meet up here. Now, before we get our video set, Bruce, it's been an hour or two, give or take, since you saw this video. Is that fair to say?
Yeah.
So, like I said, thank you to Brent for finding this. Do you have any recollection of this video?
Before I got back together with you, no.
Okay.
Absolutely not.
That's kind of the way. That's kind of cool. Is finding this footage and guys not being able to see it for all these years later. So we're going to take a pause. We'll see you guys on the other side. Now we've been joined us. So if you would introduce yourself.
Oh, hi. My name is Amanda Stepp. I'm Bruce's wife.
And the first time I think that we met was Bruce's 94 video.
Correct.
And you never got to see Bruce wrestle in high school, right?
Never. That was the first time ever. I heard.
Yeah.
I actually heard about it for the first time when we were at the 25-year anniversary at the state championship. Was that 2018, I think?
2018, 2019, something like that.
Somewhere around there, yeah.
And yeah, that photo is on the of you guys is on the 94 video. So of course, reached out, got this coordinated today. You guys are able to come up. So I want to, if we have family that are there with the video, I love if it's kids. Mom and dad, brothers, sisters are still around, wife, they never got to see her. So this is the first one. Now this video, I didn't cut it this way. It was like that when I got it. So my best opinion is whoever was there filming was like pausing whenever there was dead time. So there are a few seconds here or there where like the action's already beginning. So it's going to cut straight to it. Bruce, 1992, Atherton, Mindy, let's go. All right, so we're out of bounds. Like in your 94 video, you said first minute or so you're trying to feel guys out.
Yeah, I always like to feel guys out in the first portion of the match. But I can tell you, after having 3 matches with this gentleman, or 2 matches up until this one,
Right.
It looks body-wise that I'm much bigger than he is. But I tell you what, the just sheer strength that this guy has is just phenomenal. He's a beast of a guy.
Yeah, that's Hopkinsville, man. They had some studs back in the 80s and 90s. Willie, Livingston, Miguel. Now there you are, locking up a near side cradle. That's a Jim Matney staple of wrestling.
It is, absolutely.
Now right here, you get your near fall, and I blew it up and expanded and enhanced. I think he's pinned a few times here, but I'm not the ref.
Yeah, this is the moment that your heart is beating out of your chest.
I can imagine.
You're just you're hoping for everything in you that he's going to slap that mat.
And smart move, let him go. You feel like it was letting go. Turn around. There you are, throwing in legs again. And
this was the one thing that really shocked a lot of people about a heavyweight and an 89-pounder is that I would ride legs.
And good, not just throw them in. You knew what you were doing with them.
Well, I've learned a lot. As you can see, any good red wrestler is going to let you know that there is some fundamentals that I'm not displaying at this point, but still yet the fact of the matter is they served me well.
Now, starts back second period. Knowing what I know about Jim Matney and Coach Placer from Hopkinsville, I would have to imagine Placer deferred. He won the toss, he deferred, and then you took down. Or Jim Matney told you to take down.
Yeah, which is pretty common.
Now right there, when you got the half in, he put a full in.
Yeah.
So you come out the back door. Try to lift. He knew able to keep his feet out of bounds. If I'm still doing hand movements, guys, I just finished a whole day of wrestling, so I've seen hundreds of matches today. Illegal hold there on you, like a full Nelson.
Yeah, it's just when I'm watching this video, I know what he's doing, and the guy is just a beast of a guy when it comes to strength, and I just see everything I would try. He had a way of freezing up on it. It took a lot of energy to get from point A to point B with him.
Oh yeah. Now, were you a true 189 pound, or did you have to bump up, or?
My sophomore year, I had to cut down about 10, 11 pounds.
Okay, well that's. Because when you wrestled, there wasn't a 215 weight class. It was 189 to heavy.
Right.
I think our cameraman kind of a little side goggling here. There we go. So there's another, there it is. Put that bar on the back. There it is. And
you look so different with hair.
Thanks, hon.
Yeah. That's the line of the series so far, I believe, right there. So, watching it back, any thoughts? Did it play out the way you kind of, other than you winning, of course?
There was a point and portion of my life after high school when I had broke my back that there's a lot of things that I don't necessarily remember. So having these refreshers, having these look backs are fantastic for me, and I can't thank you enough for putting stuff like this together.
Oh man, but the pleasure, the honor is all on this side of the screen, I promise, because this is a labor of love. I mean, I was so excited this morning. I got up, saw the snow, and I was like, it's all right. We're doing Bruce's video. I know he's coming a long way, and you mentioned you had a injury, and the just when you talk to people about, what happened after high school with you, there's a section of people that consider you to be the best heavyweight that's in Kentucky.
I appreciate that.
And the people, I guess, in your generation said, from what I've been told, did you have rides or offers to like Penn State and Ohio State? Is that correct?
I had a stack of rides about that.
Okay, and that was some of the Hopkinsville guys, a couple other guys in the 92, 94 era have said that there's no doubt you would have been Kentucky's first NCAA champion if you had been able to continue on. So I think we may have to bestow that upon you here somehow. Get you a ring or a medal or something.
I don't know.
Because just how dominant you were, and just all the places that had contacted you to wrestle for them. But what do you think about it?
Well, I was just telling you just a little bit ago, I didn't even know he was a wrestler until his cousin Jason told me. It was at a family reunion one time. He's like, oh my God, it's just conversation. I'm like, Bruce wrestled? And he's just so humble. And he just, I was like, what is this? You used to wrestle in high school? And he's like, yeah, I did. And then when we went to the 25-year championship, again, Jason was there with me and his wife Sarah, and I was sitting next to them, and everybody's coming up to Bruce and saying, "Can I get your picture?" And my kids want to meet you, and I'm like, "Who is this man?"
Yeah.
Because you just would never know it. He's just so humble, and he just always gives all the glory to everybody else, and. I wouldn't even know. And so I appreciate that you've done these videos because I get to see him in a whole different light.
With hair, right?
Yes.
With hair, and I think there's a little bit of a mustache there. I think there's just a smidge of one.
Something's underneath that nose.
But, just phenomenal that again, thank you to Brent for having this. And now, as we know, Coach Matney, your head coach here, longtime coach at Sheldon Clark and Johnson, passed away. And something that one of the former wrestlers from Sheldon Clark asked me to start doing was anybody I meet with from now on with Sheldon Clark or Johnson is to have them, maybe say a few words about Coach Matney, what he meant to them in their life. So, Bruce, if you have anything you'd like to share about Coach Matney.
I'll tell you what, where do you begin with that guy? He is a phenomenal individual in my brain and my heart. Which is going to exist with me for the rest of my life. There's so much goodness that he bestowed not only in me but in all the kids that he had the ability to work with, and even a lot of them that he didn't even have the ability to personally work with, he was able to touch their lives in such a dramatic way. And I'm just sitting here thinking as I'm looking at this video, and it's Paul State, I catch him in the background. And he's standing tall, and he's reaching forth his hand to shake my opponent's hand, and it's just surreal.
Yeah.
I love the man, and I wish I got to spend a little bit more time with him.
Yeah, that was the first. I guess it was the first wrestling meet of the year. Debbie, his wife, of course, both of Coach Jim Matney's sons wrestled Dalton, and Carson wrestled for Johnson Central. Or Johnson County Middle School for Carson, but Debbie come to me at a wrestling meet. She had her purse. You know how moms are when they walk in, purse, book bags, all this kind of stuff. And she was running the table I was at, and she set her stuff down, and she went, "Alex, I want you to know I spent about 12 hours watching your videos one day." I was like, "Well, that's good, Debbie." He's like, "No, that's not good. I didn't get all the way through them. I've still got, however many more." She I think the first one that she watched was yours, and it kept on just, Sheldon Clark guys, Johnson Central guys, or guys that she remembered from, way back in the 90s or 80s or whatever. It's like, I just kept on watching them. And I looked up, and like 12 hours had went by. I didn't realize how much time I'd invested. And that's something that I take a lot of pride in is, to me, these constantly unfold. Like, yes, we're going to watch a video, but the stories that you guys tell, the stories you're able to bring out, the history it doesn't feel like it's stale. It feels like it's just constantly unfolding, and you got to watch everything or you're going to miss something. And I take a lot of pride in that. So
since you brought up Debbie, I have to say You know, Debbie was the glue that held everything together.
Oh, yeah.
She is a phenomenal lady, and her and Coach together was the greatest compliments that any two people could ever exist in.
Yeah.
And they're just phenomenal people.
Absolutely. The Debbie, Jim Matney opposites attract.
Yeah.
If there's ever been an opposites attract, that's it. Just Coach, he knew what he was doing, but probably one of the most unorganized people. Coach or Debbie, you know, and Debbie, you know, going right behind him, getting everything cleaned up. It was just great opposites attract. Now that's all that we have for 92. Again, when we get 93, Chris Dunn, we're going to be trying to get up with him. He's a busy man, but we're going to try to get with him, and we will get Bruce's 93 on the channel, whether I got to drive to him, or we meet somewhere, or whatever. It will be coming. So Bruce, Mindy, thank you guys. Now, we're going to do another video. You guys need to watch it, and I think we're going to do a little role reversal and let these guys ask some questions. So we'll see you guys in that video. See you there.